Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I got a special treat for everyone. I finally was able to get into the parking lot, at least, of the old Midland Army Airfield. This is out in West Texas. Originally built in 1927. The owner died in 1930s from an airplane crash, and the city took it over. It was then commissioned as one of the bomber bases and bomber training facilities along Dyes Air Force Base, which is still where the B-1 bombers are kept. This base, the Rattlesnake bomber base in Pyote. So there were 4 or 5 bomber training bases out here in this part of Texas. And it's really cool. I'm gonna share some of this stuff with you because just being able to see this is really cool. So we're gonna take a quick video of this. So you can see the building. If you look at the architecture, this very much looks like a 1920s build. The base was officially commissioned as an Army training center in 1941, if I read correctly, and it was decommissioned in 1946 and returned to the city in, the state actually was the county, in 1947, I believe. And you just look at it, I mean, it's actually pretty cool. Some of these trees are probably getting close to 100 years old at this point, which is just wild. There are not big trees in this part of Texas. That tree is clearly dead, and so is that one. But in any case, that far hangar over there is actually part of the Air Museum, which is very cool. I'm pretty confident this is locked, but we're gonna go see. And let's see if we can see inside. And all it is more doors. Okay, so it's kind of not very exciting in there. In any case, that's freaking cool. So this is a side gate, and this was actually used as a plaza once upon a time. You can see the old, couple of the old hangars back there. And over here is where the CAF, or the Air Museum, is. And I might be able to sneak in there, but there's some jets on display. Let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. Oh, that was a bit of a quick zoom in. So that looks like, oh, my bad, F-4 Phantom. It looks like an F-105 Starfighter, right? Oh, sorry, right there. And anti-aircraft tank, I can't remember what that guy's called. And there's an Apache. You can see the helicopter blades just behind that F-4 Phantom. They have a bunch of old stuff in there, but it's locked right now, so I will not be going in there. In any case, they do have reenactments, and they have the historical societies come out in the old style uniforms from the World War II and Vietnam, and they'll set up entire vehicles and tent cities out here so people can walk through and kind of see what it is, what the different generations of the US military used as their equipment. There's a group of guys here who do great World War II reenactments. One guy specializes in the Nazi, the German Wehrmacht, and the other guy specializes in the US Army between 1939 and 1946. So they'll set up side by side here, and you can actually walk through. They have actual weapons that have been decommissioned. Pretty cool, but there are places like this all over the country and no one knows about them. This at one point was up to 4,000 acres, and B-17s used to train here and in the Pyote Air Base. As a matter of fact, the one in Pyote was where the Enola Gay was stationed before it got deployed, and it was then stored back in West Texas before it went to the Smithsonian. And if you're not familiar, the Enola Gay was the aircraft that dropped the first atomic bomb. So pretty cool just to find these old places. Every now and then I get a minute to drive around and just wander and find stuff like this. It's pretty cool. So folks, there are places all over the country, and probably even if you're not in the US, all over your country, that are old, abandoned. I know in Europe and the Middle East, there's some ancient stuff, like thousands of years. Here in the US, 100, 200 years is pretty cool. You go down to San Antonio, there are a lot of Spanish missions that go back to the 1600s, when the conquistadors and the original Catholic missionaries were here. So take some time to learn this, because I really think understanding what happened in the past, the Cold War, World War II, how these things came to be can help us make better decisions going forward. And also you get to see really cool shit. By the way, I have no idea why there's a propeller here. It has a monument, but it's facing the other way and the gate's locked. So, and there's cactus inside, so I'm not jumping over the gate and falling in cactus. Although y'all might think this funny, I wouldn't think it was funny. That would suck greatly. So we're not doing that. In any case, folks, just a little historical tour. If I can get into the museum when they're open next weekend after, I know they're supposed to be rebuilding a B-26 or something like that, something very old. I'll see if they'll let me in, and then we can go and see some old ass airplanes. I think they have an F-14 in there now too, and an F-105 Starfighter. So there's some cool stuff going on. But folks, check your local area. These are interesting places to learn. Keep in mind, if there's an SHTF, that could conceivably be a hiding place for people who are trying to get away from something else. But anyway, I gotta leave because the helicopters are gonna start here soon. They have life flight and other commercial aircraft, and they're gonna start getting really loud, so you're not gonna be able to hear me anyway. As it is, they're doing construction near here, so you can probably have heard that jackhammer this whole time. Anyway, folks, be good, be safe out there. Thanks for joining me for this little historical tour. I'll try and get more of these little historical sites down. I've had opportunity to do it before, and I haven't always taken the time. I might start a whole sub-channel, not a whole new channel, but a sub-channel on just historical places that I run into. You guys be good, be safe out there, be careful, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.